Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today because we are going to unpack something that is quite literally reshaping human biology as we know it. I mean, just in the last few years, we've witnessed this sudden and frankly miraculous rise of weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. For the very first time in medical history, we actually have medications that can reliably and quickly help people shed massive amounts of weight. It's a full-blown medical revolution playing out right in front of our eyes. And today, we're going to break down exactly how it all works. Okay, let's dive into this. To really understand the cure, we first have to grasp the sheer scale of the crisis. Consider this number for a second. 1 billion. Right now, over 1 billion people globally suffer from obesity. This isn't just some statistical anomaly, right? It's one of the most deadly chronic diseases of our time, directly causing almost 4 million deaths every single year. It is a global emergency that has remained largely unsolved and vastly underfunded, until right now. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to start off by looking at the modern obesity trap and why relying on traditional willpower just isn't cutting it. Then we'll uncover the fascinating biology behind GLP-1, explore some of the miraculous side benefits of these drugs, tackle the uncomfortable truth about their risks, and finally, look at what this whole shebang means for the future of human health. Let's get right into it with Section 1, the modern obesity trap, an evolutionary mismatch. Before we go any further, it's really important to clarify something. The medical term obese isn't about appearance at all. It's simply a classification for having an unhealthy amount of body fat that's actively putting your system at risk. Just think about the current statistics. It's practically a 50-50 split. More than half of all Europeans are now categorized as overweight or obese. And in places like the US, Mexico, and Saudi Arabia, the numbers are even higher. If we stay on this current trajectory, by the year 2050, literally half of humanity will be overweight. So how on earth did we get here? Well, the answer lies in a massive clash between our ancestral wiring and our modern world. You see, for the vast majority of human history, food was incredibly scarce. If our ancestors stumbled across a calorie bomb, their brains rewarded them with intense joy for binging on it, because, hey, it guaranteed survival. But today, our environment has changed practically overnight. Food is now this highly engineered, incredibly cheap, hyper-palatable product. Ultra-processed foods are packed with these addictive levels of sugar, fat, and salt that completely hijack our biological reward centers. Basically, our bodies are perfectly adapted for a world that simply doesn't exist anymore. And here is the really crucial point. Becoming overweight usually isn't about some massive, sudden lack of self-control. It's incredibly subtle. If you eat just a tiny excess amount of calories every day, we're talking the equivalent of maybe half a Snickers bar over your maintenance level, that tiny daily surplus compounds. Over the course of a single year, that adds up to about 5 kilograms or 10 pounds of stored fat. It creeps up slowly, bit by bit, completely driven by an environment that's practically designed to make us overeat. Which brings us to Section 2, why willpower usually fails, the hormonal orchestra. For decades, the advice was always the same, right? Eat less, move more. Just use a little more willpower. But the frustrating reality is that this rarely works long-term. You see, hunger isn't just a choice. It's governed by a highly complex hormonal orchestra, and your body fat is one of the main conductors. If you lose weight, your body actively fights against that calorie deficit. It physically changes your hormones to make you hungrier, desperately trying to drag you back to that heavier baseline it was used to. For a lot of people, this results in relentless food noise, just constant, intrusive, agonizing thoughts about eating. It's like a biological screaming match in your head, and willpower alone just cannot silence it. But here is where the science fiction becomes reality. Section 3, hacking biology with GLP-1, the megaphone effect. Scientists have finally figured out a way to interact directly with this biological system to turn that screaming match off. Let's meet the star of the show, GLP-1, or glucagon-like peptide 1. Now, this is a hormone your body naturally produces. When you eat a meal, your gut releases GLP-1. It tells your pancreas to boost insulin, slows down how fast food empties from your stomach, and travels all the way up to your brain to signal that you're full. The catch, natural GLP-1 is incredibly fragile. It's kind of like a fleeting 2-minute song in your bloodstream before it just breaks down and fades away. Its natural effects are pretty modest. But what if we could make that song louder and make it last longer? Well, that's exactly what drugs like semaglutide and tirzepatide do. By injecting a synthetic version of GLP-1, it acts like a massive megaphone for that fullness signal. Instead of fading out in 2 minutes, the signal stays loud and steady in your blood for up to a week. Your appetite is dialed down 24/7, and suddenly that deafening food noise, it's completely silenced. People report that dieting magically feels effortless. They don't have to expend all that exhausting willpower anymore because the drug has fundamentally changed their biology, which naturally changes their behavior.
So let's see how this all builds in Section 4, Beyond Weight, Miracle Benefits. When we actually look at the clinical data of what happens to the human body on these medications, the results are nothing short of breathtaking. The sheer effectiveness of these drugs is unprecedented. On average, users are losing 10% of their body weight in just the first 3 months. By 6 months, it's 15%. And after a year, patients are regularly losing 20% or more of their total body weight. The excess fat literally just melts away. Historically speaking, we have only ever seen this level of dramatic, sustained weight loss achieved through highly invasive bariatric surgery. But here's the craziest part. The weight loss is just the beginning. There's this whole domino effect of healing. Because obesity drives so many other severe diseases, fixing it creates a cascade of health benefits. Treatment cuts the risk of heart attacks and strokes by 20%. It crashes the risk of developing diabetes by a staggering 66%. It improves kidney function, lowers cancer risk, and reduces total body inflammation. And perhaps the most mind-blowing thing of all, researchers are finding out it might even act as an anti-addiction drug. By synchronizing that metabolic orchestra in the brain, patients are reporting sudden losses of cravings for alcohol, nicotine, and even opioids. It is truly a cascade of health. However, we do need to look at the full picture here. Section 5, Side Effects and Muscle Loss, the Uncomfortable Truth. Look, as powerful as these treatments are, they are very serious medical interventions, and they come with real biological consequences. First, let's talk about the immediate adverse effects. Changing your digestive process isn't exactly a smooth ride for everyone. The most common side effects are nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, and while these are usually fleeting, they definitely aren't fun. More importantly, there are rare but severe risks for a small percentage of users. We're talking well under 5%, including things like pancreatitis and gallbladder disease, which can absolutely be serious enough to land you in the emergency room. These are definitely not cosmetic vanity drugs, right? They require careful medical supervision. But here is the absolutely most crucial hidden risk that I want you to take away from this explainer today: extreme muscle loss. The main danger of GLP-1s actually stems from their greatest strength, how incredibly fast they make you lose weight. If you just take the drug and eat tiny amounts of whatever junk food you want, you're basically putting yourself on a harmful crash diet. Your body won't just burn fat, it will literally cannibalize your muscle tissue. To safely use these drugs, especially if you're over 40, you absolutely must eat plenty of protein and do regular resistance training. Otherwise, you risk doing severe, long-term damage to your physical strength and mobility. And that brings us to our final chapter, Section 6, The Future of Health, a Window of Opportunity. So, how should we really be viewing these medications as they become more and more integrated into our society? Well, here is the hard truth. About 20% to 25% of people who completely stop taking GLP-1 medications will regain the weight. Why? Because the drug was doing the heavy lifting, not your habits. That's why the absolute best way to view these drugs isn't as some permanent magic wand, but rather as a critical window of opportunity. They remove that exhausting pressure of intense hunger and constant food noise, which buys you the time and the mental clarity you need to actually build sustainable, healthy eating habits and an active lifestyle. And if we can manage to do that on a large scale, the societal impact is almost unimaginable. Recent studies project that if US adults who needed them had lifelong access to GLP-1 medications, we could literally wipe out 50% of the country's obesity crisis in just 2 years. Think about that. We are talking about preventing 26 million cases of diabetes and saving 5.5 million people from premature death. Right now, of course, crazy high costs and supply shortages are the main bottlenecks, but, that won't last forever. As patents expire in the coming years and prices inevitably plummet, we are heading toward a world of mass accessibility, which really leaves us with this final massive question to chew on. Will we simply inject obesity away and permanently alter the trajectory of human health? The power to fix our modern biological mismatch is finally in our hands, but how we choose to use it, well, that's entirely up to us. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it opened your eyes.